First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
The tackle by Jelani.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Second down and 8. Eason sets to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell. And it's third down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is third and 8. From the gun, here's Brissett. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. Throwing is Eason. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride. Another first down.
Indianapolis.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy.
Makes the score Colts 7, Lions nothing. Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On fourth down, the Lions trot out their new punter for 2020, Jack Fox, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Colts will go on offense here, first and 10.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Eason. Complete to Hilton. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
First and 10, Taylor now. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The ball carrier.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down now, it's Taylor taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball. You
got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1 yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Eason and the Colts now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll start with a give to Taylor. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Here's Eason to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle, the Pro Bowl tight end, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Brissett. And Pascal's got it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, they stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And it is still early, just the 1st quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Eason. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. His 4th catch already in this 1st quarter. It's a 1st down. This defense porous so far in this 1st quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
Makes the score. Colts 21, Lions nothing. Rigoberto
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be fielded. It's a touchback and comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, and it's third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Open man is Allison, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw, Stafford. Screenplay, Johnson. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Complete to Kerryon Johnson.
21-0 our score after one.
With the score, Colts 21, Lions nothing.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. He gets this one to Johnson. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
Stafford on third down. That would be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. But you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
They'll throw on first down with Eason, fighting Hilton on his slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
second down. It's Taylor. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
He was brought
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. And that'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Taylor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Stafford. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. And Amendola's got it complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. They call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 15-yard line.
Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
The 14-yard line.
2nd and 10. Here's Eason off the play fake. That's into the hands of Pascal. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line.
He was brought down.
A huge play that time for the Colts. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
And a Colts first down.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the gun, Stafford. And he's got Amendola with the connection. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He's going to let this go. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one good for 37 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
The 2-yard line.
2nd and 2. Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Throwing is Stafford. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They snap it to Stafford. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he converts, and it cuts the lead to 35-7.
Makes the score Colts 35, Lions 7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. They'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, there's zero doubt that the Detroit Lions like Kerryon Johnson's ability, but he's been dinged up a little bit in his first 2 years in the NFL, so they went out and used a day 2 pick this past year. on DeAndre Swift, the rookie runner out of Georgia, hoping, I think, to pair them together and maybe send a message. But I think if Kerryon Johnson can stay on the field, he could be an awfully productive back in the NFL.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Complete to carry on.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he goes across the 20 to the 22.
Taylor, the ball carrier.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And that is incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
At the 45-yard line.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
At the 28-yard line.
Throwing is Eason. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
18 on the play.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give to Taylor. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
It's a gain of 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, Taylor. And blocked down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
It's a gain of 10.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
First and 10, Eason. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And they move this all the way down to the 9. So they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Jonathan Taylor.
They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
Again, it'll be Taylor. He gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
He was brought down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Here's Mack. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts just continue to pour it on. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
It's the score, Colts 42, Lions 7. Rigoberto Sanchez.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still hasn't really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go to Johnson again. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Johnson. He's brought down at the 31. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard.
Colts. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. On the give, this is Mack. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He's brought
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. They go right back to Mack. Inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. They'll run it with Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And this offense is running away with this one. Blankenship out for the point after.
Extra point.
I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one will be coming back. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. He throws there, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
The ball carrier.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Julian Okwara on the tackle. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep or protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. And they take a knee.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.